Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, Top 1 Financial Advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. Hey, yesterday was Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there. But today I want to give you my 3 or 4 tips that I learned from my dad and how I implement them into my financial life and things that I would love to pass on to my kids. So I have my notes here. As y'all know, this week for Juneteenth and Father's Day, I've decided to take a vacation for the first time since the pandemic. So my wife and I will be in Miami. So set everything up for this week. I'll be monitoring the comments and stuff. So y'all are going to see me, but these will be pre-recorded. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want more like breaking news stuff, I'll still be here on YouTube. I'll be doing YouTube shorts for if hopefully nothing crazy happens, but if it does, y'all gonna get my thoughts and opinions on it. You can find me Instagram, Twitter, and all the other places. But let's go ahead and start. So my dad is a firefighter. He's a firefighter for the majority of my life, for like 20 years, and still lives in Tulsa with the majority of my family. I'm in North Carolina. And one thing I learned from my dad, there are many things, but financially, one of the biggest things that I learned was having multiple streams of income. My dad ain't never had just one source of income. And I think as investors, but just as individuals, we need to have 2, 3, 4, as many buckets as possible to pull income from. Especially if we're going to go into a recession, if that's going to be the thing, you definitely want to have another switch to flip in case the main thing ain't the main thing anymore, which we hope doesn't happen. But if it does, you want to be able to have different things. So, for me, whether it's the 9 to 5, whether it's the book, whether it's speaking engagements, whether it's one-on-one financial coaching, whether it's writing articles, I got to be able to juggle when needed. Or if one resource dries up, I got to go to another one. So being able to do that has helped me to become a better investor because it's allowed me to have other streams of income to invest more money. So for example, if I got a 401k that matches, that's one source of income, right? And then let's say if I'm writing articles, I'm getting paid well from that. Maybe that pays off my student loans. Maybe if I write another book or something, maybe that income is used to invest more in a 401k or something of that nature. But each stream of income is used for something specific. Well, growing up, my dad was a firefighter. He taught CPR classes. He invested in real estate. He had his own business, multiple different businesses at times, and he was always doing something. And as a kid, I picked up on that and said, okay, you got money coming in from every which way. And we didn't grow up with a lot of money, but he was always doing and experimenting with different things. And that's a skill that he verbalized to us, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do and this is why I'm doing it, and really using his main skill to spin off and do other things. I think that was something that was extremely important and really relates closely to me now that I reflect on it on camera, now that I'm thinking about it. So for example, his main job was as a firefighter. As a firefighter, you meet a lot of people, number one, but you also have to learn CPR, which makes it easier to teach CPR classes. And he taught classes at daycares primarily growing up because we were kids. We had to go to daycare, and daycares had to be certified in CPR. So he started to meet a lot of people doing that. At one point in my dad's entrepreneurial career, he ended up doing a business directory, and this is before Google and stuff like that. So the people used to have books to find out what businesses were doing what, kind of like the Yellow Pages, but it was more of a community-based thing. And once you meet all these people at all these daycares, and you're a firefighter, and firefighters, they know people who build houses, because if a house burns down, you need somebody to go and repair it. So he had a lot of connections, and he used that to launch his business directory. And then, start teaching CPR classes for like oil companies and stuff like that. And it was just like, wait a minute. Use your main job to find out other streams of income. At one point, now again, all this is flooding back to me because I was a kid. There was what's called a firefighters auction, where only firefighters, I guess, have the opportunity to go to these auctions and could buy cars for a cheap price. So you could buy a car for $800 and then sell it for $1,500, but it was only for firefighters. again, using your main job to find different streams of income. So for me, I didn't start off in finance. I got a degree in economics, but I started off with teaching, which is one reason why I feel I am pretty good at explaining things, talking on camera, doing presentations, because that's what you really do as a teacher. You're explaining things and breaking them down and helping people to understand. But also, I taught 7th grade math, so for me, for 7 hours a day, because you have to teach 7 different periods, it's practicing and showing presentations and saying, hey, here's how this thing works. You adjust it for the next class, adjust it for the next class, doing it 7 times a day, every day for 190 days. You start to get real good at presentations. You start to get real good at examples and just breaking things down. So I took that skill that I did for 2 years and took it to Wall Street. So I moved to New York City, and people are like, well, what is a bond and why is the stock doing X, Y, and Z? I combined what I had in economics and the skills of teaching and started to teach people the stock market, which is how we got here, right? But I took my teaching job, combined it with what I learned on Wall Street, and started doing that, right? And then took my teaching skill and started writing it down, and you see me write for Business Insider and CNBC and stuff like that. So just taking that main thing and spinning it off into different areas. So it came from teaching, then it came from teaching to advising to writing both books and articles, getting chosen to speak at corporate events and stuff like that. So being able to take that one skill or any skill and branch off and use it to find different areas to pull in income and diversify your income should anything happen, but also to increase your level of income, which can increase the level that you can invest, which can increase your level of wealth down the line. So that's number one. It's a long example, but as Father's Day, I could talk as long as I choose to. But let's move on to the next one, is to be proactive. My dad was not the one to procrastinate. And that's something I think is really important. I remember as a kid, it was like, don't wait for something bad to happen for you to react. If you can perceive a risk, if you see something that needs to be done, do it now, get it over with, and you just check that off the box. And I think that's something that really comes in handy in the investing space. So very early on this year, I would say, we can go back and watch the videos if we need to, but let's say February, March-ish, we're like, look, market is down, let's start talking about defensive stocks early, right? I'm not going to wait until mid-July for an official notification that there is a recession. Should there be a recession anyway? We were not waiting for an official bear market to start looking into defensive stocks. We've been talking about it for a while now. But also, I told y'all, I think if you're here, you're probably investing in something. We don't wait to invest, right? We don't wait for perfection to learn how to invest. We're not waiting for this bear market to be over to start investing. We invest now, we invest for the long term, and we adjust as we move forward. And I think that is something that is key. Don't wait. The time you're never going to get back. Everybody wishes, I say this all the time, everybody wishes they invested during the dot-com bust, knowing what happened now. Everybody wishes they would have bought Google in 2004, or even Domino's. Domino's is slept on from 2004 to now. They went public the same time as Google did, and at one point, it was even worth more than what Google was from their IPO. Don't sleep on Domino's. We can do a video on that one later. If you want the video on Domino's, let me know in the comments. But aside from that, don't wait. Don't wait to find out what to invest in. If you don't know what to invest in, pick an index fund, and then we can cover everything else in the back end. But if you perceive a risk, take care of it. If you think there's going to be an issue, take care of it. But be proactive. Don't be reactive and say, oh, I don't know what happened. What do I do now? Which is what I used to do. It's like, oh, it's dark. I don't want to cut the yard down. I waited too late. It's like, no, if you knew you need to cut the yard, get up early, cut it, get out the way. Don't wait for something to block your path. Don't wait for something to become an issue before you solve it. So that was one that my dad definitely taught me. The last one, and perhaps the last one, Dad's rant, is he really emphasized learning. I think that's why you're here. So I don't need to go on to this one for too long, but always learn, improve. I think the most important thing here is to challenge what your natural beliefs are. So for me, y'all see a bunch of books in the background, many of which I have read, others that I will be reading as you're watching this video, because I'll be on vacation. I'm taking 3 or 4 books, this being one written by my friend Caleb. But I'll be reading a lot, hopefully, over this vacation. Reading and eating that's on the goal, and sleeping. Those will be the things I'll be doing. But aside from that, my dad always had a book on him when I was a kid. And the key here is to read and improve throughout your life. It is not just a one-time thing. There's one reason why I do videos every single day, is to continuously push the envelope to help you guys understand what's going on. But also, this teaches me, because I have to read and understand the market every single day, and that helps me to improve as I go through and read these reports, read what's happening in the news, understand, interview people, and do all the background information that it takes to create decent to really, really good content. And that's what I'm here for. But also, I think a part of learning is to challenge what you previously may have held, right? So if I believe that real estate is the greatest thing known to man, I also need to read and see why real estate may not be. To read and find things, to find the truth by comparing and contrasting certain styles of investing and figuring out what really works for you. You never want to, the reason why you never want to just learn one thing and do nothing else is because the game can change. It has changed, most recently for crypto and NFTs, even for tech companies. You know, we were at a phase of the market where really popular, unprofitable stocks were the place to be. It was, at one point it was WeWork, and that became what it became. But 2019, we were talking about Uber and Lyft and Slack and Zoom and all types of stuff. And that's not the case anymore. Like, it's 2022. Can anybody name like a super significant IPO that's happened? Off the top of my mind, I really can't think of one. So again, if you just learned about IPOs, initial public offerings, for those that don't know, first time you can invest in a company, that's the only trick in your bag. You got to continuously grow and learn and find places to invest in. And that's not just investing, but just money and finance as a whole, or just life, really, because like this book isn't necessarily about money. I'll be bringing some money books with me. I'll probably put this on Twitter or something. Just bring some personal philosophy books, some history books. Just learn and continuously get in the habit of learning, and learn, I think, in the best format for you. Some people are audiobook listeners. Some people are YouTubers to learn information. That's why I'm here. Some people are podcasts, whatever fits for you. But you do want to continuously learn. I think that's what's going to help you through your financial journey, but just through your personal journey. And that's something that my dad definitely taught me, and it's something all 3 of these things I want to definitely pass on and teach to my kids. So that's it. I got my notes here. So to recap very quickly, it's to have those multiple sources of income, to diversify your income, to be proactive, and then to learn, to always and consistently be learning, always be learning, which makes no sense grammatically, but y'all get the point here. So in the spirit of learning more, feel free to hit the Join Now tab and join our members only club. We do exclusive videos just for our members. I answer specific questions. I do deep dive company breakdowns and even more helpful videos when it comes to breaking down what I'm looking at in the market, where I can help you become a better investor, and give out special tools and resources for our members only. It's only $10 a month. You get at least one new video that is exclusive every single week, so it's really inexpensive, and I think it'll make you, if you take those investing tips and start to learn it, I think it'll make you or save you more than $10 a month. That I can almost guarantee. So feel free to join the members only. We got several people here that I'm sure will attest to how good it is, and we're only going to grow and do even better. All right, I will see y'all on a beach, and I will continue to post videos this week. But I'll be out in Miami enjoying whatever Miami has to offer. If you live in Miami or you've been there, you got some food recommendations, holla at your boy and put that in the comments as well. All right, that is it for me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.